hurling life. Paddy Kelly Senior, who always knew before a match I would be shaking like a leaf. And he'd be offering me whiskey and he'd be offering me this, trying to calm me before I went out. Now this was, I was a senior, not a junior, or an underage minor now, fair to him. But we had to put a pause to that because I was playing Longwood one day and the fellow was marking, asked me was I drinking. Billy Delaney, of course, was another man who I didn't really know too much, but he was a man that I had met coming out of mass, but he used to come down to the match at Kinsale, stand behind the goals. I normally was at our cornerback or fullback, but I knew he was watching me. He'd probably seen something in me, and he constantly was giving me advice on what to do and what not to do. Andy Carr was another man, little story on him. We had a sports day here one day, and the Cullen shot, I say I was probably 13 or 14, and I was first up to take it. And within me 3 shots, my father gave me £1 to spend, and that's what I got, was £1, so I had to make sure it lasted. It took me 3 shots or 6 shots, and I got 1 ball in. Sat there all day, watching every fella come up to take these shots. Andy Carroll got it in, and I was going, Christ. Then Pat Kane got it in, and I was going, shite, I'm not going to win this. Sat there the whole day till 5 o'clock, waiting. And I was told that the 3 was going to play off for the final. Sat there, 5 o'clock came. No sign of Andy. I said, oh, thank God. Pat Kane, thank God. Where did he go? Warrenstown. And I was handed the trophy. I was never as happy in all my life. And I still have the trophy. Another man who was very dear to me, my neighbour Kevin Smith. And he brought me 7 daily all over the county, used to say. And he managed myself 1 year under 14. Just a little story about Kevin, the type of man he was. We were playing Boarsmill in Boarsmill. And we had a good team. We had myself, we had Colin Sheridan, we had Miley Bourne, we had Willie Bourne. We had a good under 14 team, and we won. We patted the hand in Boarsmill. Started telling the ref that I was overage. There was no way was I 14. And he went over to Kevin shouting and roaring, and Kevin stayed calm, and he says, Father, come on with me. And he walked over to the sideline, and my mother was there, and my sister Joan, who was married into Boarsmill as a Nolan. And he goes, Joan, you know this lad? She goes, he's my nephew. He goes, what age is he? What age is he? 14. And he goes, do you know his day of birth? She goes, I do, the 10th of the 1st, 72. And Paddy was there, look, giving out. And Kevin goes, I know, Joan, you're not holding his auntie. He goes, no, I am his auntie. But what has he? I'm his godmother. And Paddy couldn't say a word. Well, he walked off, shaking his head. Kevin walked off, I went with him, and Kevin had a grin from ear to ear. Kevin also, he was really involved with underage. I know he had success with the seniors. And there wasn't a time himself and Pat Sheridan dragging us all over the county. In Kevin's round 4, it only fits 5, probably should only carry 3, but there could have been 9 of us in it. But no matter what, Kevin was getting us to that game. And Pat Sheridan throwing us on the back of his van, warning us, sit down and don't move. Another man that I trained under was Tommy Cummins. I think Tommy and I had this conversation before. I really enjoyed Tommy's training sessions. They were always sharp, they were tense. And I was kind of probably, I don't know what age it was, I actually rang Paddy one day last week and I said, Paddy, did Tommy Cummins train the senior team? He goes, there's not a job we can say that Tommy Cummins didn't do. And I was there, fair enough, the chances were this was senior, but one evening we were training, a nice sunny evening, and Tommy used to like to get involved in the training. Most mentors or managers stand on the side shouting and roaring, but no, Tommy had to be involved with us. Tommy picked up a ball and he was running straight at me, and I would say to myself, no, I'm going to sort this for that one way or another. Little did I think. Because Tommy was probably 20 years my senior, I thought I'd stop him, but he was going to buy me that bloody fast. I learned a lesson. A skill skill and experience is a lot better than being a fit hurler. Peter Farrell, you'll see this video, and there is a point to this story and all these people I've mentioned. Peter Farrell on the 83, this good looking lad down there looking up to him as he was a god. I want a good look at me. Yeah, so Peter, that year, 83, I was 12, and I'm looking up to him as if I want to be Peter Farrell. I want to be captain of Kilsale. And even though I did captain Kilsale for a lot of underage, but never fortunately got to play, I did play senior, but never got to captain Kilsale at any time. Well, it just goes to show, and I'll get to my point why I'm talking about this, how important players like Peter, Billy Delaney, Kevin Smith, all these lads, Harry Donovan, who didn't love Harry Donovan's helmet? The square helmet, but he wanted to have a face guard. I think my father kind of said, I'd sooner be going to Summer Hill to get stitches and pay for a helmet. Hi, you're alright, settle down there, get some drink. Of course then, Ger and Pixie Regan, apart from their skills, we all wanted to dress like them, all wanted to look like them. Lemon jackets, the jeans, Paddy Curley, as tough as nails. I'm even back to the Doc, Paddy Curley, Rich Media, Harry Donovan was probably the only man, and maybe Paddy Kelly, who had helmets. The rest of us had no helmets. What do we not have as well? Teeth. So thank God hurling helmets are now purposely, we have to have them one way or another. Nearly there. Don't worry, Paddy. Nearly there. Anyway, my point of the whole thing is, as I grew up, and a lot of lads my age, we had heroes. I had mine, I've mentioned a few of them. We also had mentors who were important, not just in training, but someone to be there for us, like Kevin Smith was for me. And when the whole time going through, it's so important that we all, young kids today, look up and have a hero. And I'm sure a lot of the kids today are looking at Peter Durlan, James Kelly, Tara Kelly, all these lads that are Jack Regan, who are playing out of skins the last few years and won five championships. They're heroes to lads. But what is important is the mentors. And this club has been very lucky since the very beginning, since 82 and before, to have people like this, and today we still have them. And that's what the club is all about. And with that, I leave you at that. Frank will take over, and we'll have a chit chat with a few of the lads and enjoy the night. Thank you.
Thank you, Damon. How is the sound on this mic? Can you hear this okay? Is it okay? Before I start, I'm not regarding myself as an MC tonight. I'm here just to facilitate the memories that all you people have of the thing. But before I just say my own little introduction, I'm going to go down in the audience. There's a man here who refereed one of those finals, Joe Gannon from Killeen. And of course at that time there was a tremendous rivalry between Killeen and Kiltale, which we'll talk about as the night goes on. But Joe has suggested that he might have to go a little bit earlier than we expected. So if you don't mind, before I do my own introduction as such, I'm going to go down here to Joe and just have a word with him. How about a round of applause for Joe? As a matter of fact, before we start, Joe, the first thing I'm going to do is ask all these Kiltale people who remember the final that you refereed, did he do a good job of it? Did he do a good job? Yeah, that's more like it. Joe, on behalf of the Kiltale Club, you're very welcome indeed. Can I not ask before we say I had a rough year, we lost a couple of very valued members. Tell us what you remember.
we gone off air? Yeah.
There.
Yeah, have one for yourself. All right. It's all gone.
Testing 1, 2, 3. We're back on air, no? Testing 1, 2, 3. We're back on air, we are? Yeah. Okay. Joe, in the first instance, just at that time you were refereeing quite a lot of games. That's a big county final. The particular game that you're refereeing between Kilkenny and Rathline, your memories of it?
Well, I remember it was a very good game. Before the game, I had a tackle. I won't say who, but I was in the attack. And I decided I'd give them about 10 minutes and let them work. And they did. And so I had a very easy game. I was only taking a score. So I'd like to thank them very much for that. It was a second or third final on with this. No, it went very well, and I have to say thanks very much to everyone tonight. Both Rathline and Kilkenny, they played hard on that day. I think if memory serves me well, it was 19 or 20 frees in the 32 match they did.
Okay. The other question that comes to mind, Joe, the other question that comes to mind, at that time there was a tremendous rivalry. Kilkenny and Killarney at that time, and tonight, can you tell me when?
That's why I'm hitting.
Testing. No, we definitely not that. Did you have any problem being in Killarney and the rivalry there was between the two clubs at that time? Did you have any problem, so we say, accepting the appointment?
No, I have not. I went out to do the games, it was, whether it was Killarney or whoever it was. We had our ups and downs, but that's part of the game. If we had to do something wrong. So I enjoyed it, and I hope we relaxed it too. Over that time, with the tail and all those back down the years, Paddy Kelly and all those.